Morning.
Today we morning. Okay, so today we will have this all hands, and I will be your host, and then Bila will help me as the moderator today. We will talk about several different things like usual. So there's some inspiration, some chapter achievements, some of the goals, and also the uh, personal updates, and also there's core value recognition as well at the end of the section. So please don't forget to tag the person or write down your notes if you want to recognize any core value at the table below. Okay, so let's start with this weekly inspiration then. Today I want to present this. Actually, this is something that I recently got inspired. This is from a TV series actually. The Billion Dollar Code is just released like a few days ago. So basically, we were going to talk about this. So we talk about innovation every day, right? And then we experiment with things and try to find new way of doing things. But the question is, do we understand the vision of the new ways of how hospitality should be or should be done in the future, and who should benefit from that? And this is coming from before I've been asked a question by a student the other day. So the question is how Bukit Vista innovation has changed Bukit Vista in Bali. So that is a pretty simple question, actually. But surprisingly, there's no straightforward answer because what we are doing is, I think, it's not something like uh, suddenly we change everything, but we change small thing at once, right? So I'd like to invite you to ask this question to ourselves whenever we think that we are innovating. So ask, are we innovating only to benefit ourselves or to help others? So this week's inspiration comes from a real case about the movie, actually the TV series about the visionary innovation and how to make those innovation available for others. So the story is telling a real story about a German artist, uh, Joachim Sauter, a German artist that wants to present the Earth and enable the audience to interact with it. So he's inspired by Superman that can fly from outer space into any place on Earth. So back then it was very impossible to do to create things like that, and there's a technical aspect. There's no computer. There's no computer strong enough to do that, or the computer that's strong enough is very expensive. So with a strong vision of how he sees how human will understand the scale and their location on Earth, he came up with a software called TerraVision in '94. So Google Earth is invented 11 years after that. And at that time, the technology is not widely adopted by most people yet. So not so many people have access to TerraVision. And I'd like to show this quote from them actually. So basically, this is from a conversation on the television founders. It takes more a couple of good ideas to invent future. It takes people who are prepared to take the risk and are willing to venture into uncharted territory and share their discoveries with others. So yeah, what is an innovation if it can be enjoyed by others? It's just an invention. So in present day, many tools are created based on the TerraVision idea, like Google Earth, Google Maps, Apple Maps. Now with photos, reviews, even like Street View, that's coming from a silly idea back then, like 20 years ago, 20 something years ago. So uh, today we use Google Maps on a daily basis, very easily on our phone, and we feel like it's always been there. But actually, it's not. It's invented by someone with strong vision that's not afraid to be laughed at, and it was very virtual back then. No one knows that that's something that could be real, but it's very real today. So that's also something that could be considered as in our monthly theme, which is the virtual could be real. Actually, depends on how you interact with it. So that's the story that I I can get some inspiration on how invention, how a vision help us create a new innovation, even though it seems like impossible or like not feasible. But depending on how you view how people would use that invention in the future, that could be something that's very useful for a lot of people. So let's continue to the next one. I will give my floor to the moderator, Bila, to continue with the rest of the session. All hands.
Okay, thank you so much, Kawaii, for the inspiration story. It was very inspiring to hear all that. So next to the session of today, maybe we will hear about vision and mission statement. I think we'll go back to Kabayu, I guess.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah. This is me again. So this is something that I have envisioned and try to work on this few weeks back, basically. So we want to have this actually. We want to have basically it's called a knowledge for everyone, right? We have a problem where our knowledge, strategies, discovery are spread in different places. We talk about this every day, but it's in different places. So also, when our action is not delivering result, we rarely ask, did you follow the guideline? Or because the guideline could be outdated or inaccessible sometimes. Also, when we discover a good practice, we don't have a definitive documentation to teach others, like a future employee, for example. So that's causing some some problem. Probably the knowledge that we gain could be lost somewhere. So the vision is that we should have an extensive library of our vision, mission, success, failures, guideline, tutorial that any new or old employee can access and learn from it. It's structured by our mission to inspire, delight guest, employee, and partner, not by hierarchy. So there will be no bottleneck. Basically, you don't need to ask the senior people for a knowledge. Knowledge is just available for everyone, basically. So we have been working on an MVP before for the content guideline. It's on Dropbox paper. We also have the learning video index. But yeah, like the problem that we stated before, it's sometimes not maintained, right? It stops somewhere after we update it, and then we don't update it like on a daily basis, not like when we discover something on our discussion. And the current version that we are developing is this one. We are working with a documentation on a new platform that you can access actually. And this is targeted to be implemented for HR trial and onboarding by 24th of October. This will contain everything basically. This is just two basically. Right now we are making a smaller scope, so for employee funnel and also for the culture and employee code of conduct. Basically, we start with that, but if this turn out good, we will uh, spread this to the entire company. So, what do we need in order to make this a reality? So, we need someone who has a vision of how things should be done that makes our life better, even in the smallest practice. So that's there's an example. If you know something about preparing and moderating webinar, for example, we should write that down somewhere. So the next person don't have to go through the same mistake again. And a lot of things, small things like using a keyboard shortcut on Mac or Windows, that's something that needs to be shared. And everyone needs to have the access to that knowledge because it's very simple, it's good, it's productive. So why don't we share that? So that is Yeah, that is the vision statement for knowledge for everyone. Back to you, Bella.
Okay, thank you, Kak Bayu. So next we'll be having a mission statement from Mr. Jim and Victoria, I believe.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. And thank you, Bayu, for illustrating one of the core principles around here. I think this is a good illustration of being transparent. Knowledge should be available for everyone in the company. And I think we need to evolve our traditional practices here to facilitate this type of self-learning and development. When Bayu means talks about guidelines being generated, we need people to generate that. What I see there is it's not just from senior leaders or executives or the people who've been here for a long time. Every single person here at the company can actually write their guidelines into the legacy, and that can affect the way that everybody from here and into the future does their work. So it is very much the essence of hospitality innovation. It's very much the essence of actually developing, I think, innovations. And just like how TerraVision might have been a crazy idea before, I see this as actually being very interesting and also a nascent idea. And I hope just like how Google Earth has become something that everybody uses without thinking about it, I hope that the guidelines can be something that we use without necessarily even thinking about it in the future as well. But it's going to take practice, and of course, we need everybody to be involved. So this is why we're speaking about all the all hands, and perhaps this can be the first layer of how we actually get aware and then start practicing this particular use. Now, let me jump into the mission statement, which is an example, I think, of hospitality innovations that have actually inspired delight. The first person I'd like to bring to the floor is Victoria. Is Victoria here?
Yep, I'm here, sir.
All right, Victoria, I noticed that you were doing some fine work on the website, so I wanted to bring this up because I think it's actually pretty interesting and it's a good perspective. Victoria, tell us a little bit about your innovation, how it inspires delight.
Okay, so previously on the website, I actually observed that our potential partner behavior is actually when they after they go to our MMA page, they will go to the bookings page, which is a listing of our property itself. And here I noticed that so they are looking for our property as well. And I hypothesize that actually they don't looking for our property, but they want to see whether we are our we whether we are doing our work or not. And also, if we are looking at the behavior on the website as well, it is actually a lot of people are having a lot of activities on the testimonial section, which means that a lot of people actually interested in the looking at other people testimonial. And here, what I believe is we can make something maybe like a referral or maybe a community voice in terms of written from. And what I did is actually I create a partner transformational story which contain of uh, uh, basically a review of each of the property, and here we create something like um, a story that can inspire people, other people, and what we believe here that this story can also inspire other potential partner to show the connection between Bukit Vista and our partner, to persuade them to also contact us, and hopefully they can also inspire to start their business or maybe even build a property itself. And it is only 5 days until now, and but it's actually got around 37 or maybe 40 views until now. And thank you so much for Kak Nadia for making this happen. And also Moayana that gives me a lot of insight about the elevator pitch. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Victoria. And thank you also for sharing the credit to Nadia and Wayana, who've been participating and helping to drive this innovation forward. To answer one of the questions that students ask about Bukit Vista, what kind of impact have we made on hospitality and how we've changed it? It's stories like this that actually remind us of what we actually do. We take people who don't know much about hospitality and we elevate them, and their stories become the reasons that motivate travelers to want to experience Bali, to experience Nusa Penida, experience Jogja, or experience any place that Bukit Vista chooses to operate in the future. And I think it's these particular stories that add value and it adds context about what we actually do. These kind of stories need to be told often, regularly, and driven because they embody the spirit of what we actually do as a company. So thank you very much, Victoria, for taking that and expressing that vision on the website. So now more people can actually see it and also understand the kind of work that we do. All right, great stuff. I think there's a second one. This one is, I think I tagged Nadia on this, right? So Nadia, are you here right now?
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone.
All right, good morning, Nadia. So I think you tried out an innovative practice on LinkedIn, and it got quite a lot of responses. It happened to be one of our most reacted to posts on LinkedIn. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about this type of messaging and why it could inspire delight.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So, actually, me and Farah, we've been seeing this kind of posts a lot actually on LinkedIn, and how this type of post could actually attract many people. So, we would like to try and test first whether our hypothesis true. So, we try to create this kind of content of asking what kind of role actually people or the DeFi follower interested in. And also, we all know that this kind of expression have been specially designed with Lincoln's professional updates in mind. So, using the range of expression is a way to gauge the thought and the feelings of the audience. And actually, this kind of feature make the engaging with the content quicker and also easier, but it also creates an opportunity for creative marketing. And we hopefully with the responses result in the future, we have the data that what kind of content that we could create, which is suitable for our followers, for example. And if they're interested in finance or IT, we could post content that's related to this field, but not to omit the rest of the other answers as well. So yeah, that's it. Back to you, sir. I think you're mute, sir.
Sorry, thank you for the reminder. So I've seen this, thank you very much, Nadia, for the explanation. I've seen this a few times on LinkedIn, and I think it is actually a pretty interesting trend. So these type of things, I think, are innovations that sometimes can inspire us to actually get that engagement level up, and we have to make a choice on how to respond. So thank you for responding quickly and putting that detail into the work. All right, let me turn it back over to Bayu for the continuation.
Okay, so I'll continue. I think we'll be having the weekly mission inspiration, I guess. So we'll be moving to the first mission inspiration to Kak Erika.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me, guys?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So the first one is actually our guest from Panida. So at first, we cannot accommodate the guest because we are not available. And then they decided to book another property, but it turns out one of our property as well. And when I notify her that it's actually one of our property too, and we will be hosting you again, and she was like very happy, and she said that, oh, that's very good. So yeah, I think this was kind of wholesome for me. And then the second one is actually Maudi's guest, and the guests were kind of let down because we cannot. The property cannot allow her to pick the room, and actually it was Maudi's sweet talk skills that make the guests not angry about it, and we're not really sending her anything, but from that the guest is actually okay with it. So yeah, I think that was kind of can be can inspire our hosting team to always make the guest mood is good after maybe they are let down or maybe disappointed. So yeah, that is from me. Back to you, Bila.
Okay, thank you, Kak Erika. So next, Andy. Is Kak Andy here?
Okay. Hello, Bella. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Yes, this is the first partner transformation. This is the from the partner of Bamboo Beach Bungalow. This is a new property actually, and then new partner. And then last week I take a photo with Mas Bayu on the property, and actually she's very cooperation, and then also lovely and helpful. She helped. We are have a lot on the onboarding process, and then also she's prepared the villa with amazing traditional Balinese decoration. And then when we took photo shoot, she play yoga music to make us very good and then ambience. And also what she's held a small art visual there, and then yeah, I give her that gift for the welcoming to our team, and then also the appreciation for her cooperation during the onboarding process. Okay, next one. Yes, that's one that she also willing to be a model of with Mas Bayu as a for the yoga on the house, and then also the second one, yeah, this willingness uh, up a little bit, yeah, the willingness of the one of our partner from the Lottery and Sunrise House. Her name is Miss Clear. She is one of our successful partner that build a business in Bali, and then she's willing to be a speaker in our community sharing session event. Okay, that's it. Wait next to Om Rafiq.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, just going to me. So thank you. This is I call it Canggu community. I think it's you get say hello from Full Moon owner. Ya sebentar sebentar saya mau lagi meeting. Oh, my son, my son. So this is the owner of the Full Moon property. So I meet pondok kita owner and also Kencana and Kakol. That is I build trust and everything to the community. That's it. Sorry, Papa lagi meeting. Sorry, my son is disturbing me. Okay, back to you, Bella. That's for me.
Okay, thank you so much. So next one from Kak Shelly.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Villa. So hello everyone. Good morning. So here's a few like personal achievement from within the past week. So for the first one, okay. So this person finished the partner transformation column notebook and have given the results to the CM team, and also tested the codes for database value standardization in the development database and ready to do it for the production database. So I believe this is from I can't remember exactly either PD or BI team. So congratulations for you. And then, oh, this one is interesting. So our Instagram discount giveaway event was filled at 378 people, and it's the third story with the highest count for views in the past 3 months. Wow. And 59 people in total participated. Fun fact, I also participated, so make sure that I win, you guys. And then another one is that, okay, so this person specifically became a speaker in Peking University last week and introducing HR to the audience, of course. And thank you for having this person. And yes, welcome back, Sasha. The team is so happy now that you are back again. Yay! And last but not least, currently we're working on a lot of new guidelines in this case. And this process, of course, is not an easy journey since like we're having a lot of discussions and agreements and so on. But eventually we'll get there. Yes, so yeah, process is the key, guys, in this case. And BD workshops is a lot of fun, everyone. So not just for BD team. So maybe if anyone is interested, can also join. And yes, Nadine is a great lead, and the dynamic situations were thrilling. So yes, great job team in this case. So yeah, that's a bit of an update for the employee team and personal achievements the past week. Back to you, Bila.
Okay, thank you, Kak Shelly. So last one for weekly mission inspiration to Kak Nadia.
Okay, thank you everyone. It's me again, and yeah. So for the technological innovation, so actually, small changes but matter. So I have discovered that actually our blog post has no author and also published dates stated before on the post. So with the help of VD, this actually could be implemented. And also one other thing is that we have now social share button that hovering on the page so that it could help the visitors to share the post easily on Facebook, Twitter, and also LinkedIn. And to state Kawaii statement this morning, small but what is it? Small change, yeah. Small change at the times. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Nadia. So next we'll be having ES update from HR. So maybe Kak Shelly.
Oh, okay, back with me again, yeah. Okay, so yes. First of all, thank you everyone for filling up the ES for September. The format is actually a bit like different, yeah, if we compare it to the previous month. So yes, here's a few things. There are actually like the good things in terms of discovery and prioritization for the chapter and company level. So for the discovery and chapter level in terms of brainstorming, database, content, consistent guideline and inspection,
as well as for the prioritization part in terms of generating insights, inquiries, urgency of projects in this case. And for the company level wise, discovery and opportunity, market strategy, feel to well more real in terms of the company team the past 2 months, as well as prioritizing working culture, inspiration, as well as company direction. And that's for the positive things. And for the things to take note to and to be worked on in this case, for chapter level, we have in terms of discovering interns potential, storytelling from data, strategic innovations, as well as for the prioritization in project arrangement, operation, the struggle between like operations and strategizing, as well as advocacy. And for the company level side, in terms of discovery, more into like groundbreaking ideas, inspection friction, as well as competitor analysis. And for the prioritization wise, more into like flow of the chapters and risk management application while failing fast. So these responses will also be followed up directly to the respective leaders of the chapter. So later on, I'll keep the leaders updated for like more details of the ES results. And Mas Bayu, if you can scroll down a little bit. So that is for September, and an update for August 1. So this was actually the ES results for August, and I'd like to tell you guys a little bit on what we did actually. So for the intense graduation presentation previously, you can see like the action points in the what we're looking to achieve column there. And so far for the results, few of the past IGPs are selected as the reference for incoming IGPs, so that it's actually more clear for the guidelines as well for the upcoming interns who are going to do their own presentation. And some of the other things are still in progression for this case. And for the happy refinement part, it's already implemented by the PIC in this case when like informing those who are in charge for the next upcoming happy hour. And for the online personal update part, MVP is actually done. Very improvement like compared to the last month. A few people also mentioned in the September ES that this leads to a more positive impact to everyone. So like the randomizing like on which column to read, see basically on the personal update. And last but not least, for the core value recognition, it's also done. Clear separation between like recognition to everyone basically or to leaders in this case. So it's also resulting in more specific approach in recognizing people. So yes, that is basically for the mini EES report. So for further explanations or if you want to like know more, you can just contact me directly. Thank you, and I'll give it back to you, Dila.
Okay, thank you, Kak Shalin, for the update. So now on to the Magnitude team. So over to Kak Budi.
Right, thank you very much, Villa. It's quite a long all hands that we have here, but I'll try to not bore you guys with data. So I would like to remind you guys that our monthly theme for this month is making virtual the new real, but it's an extended version, keeping in mind that we have to make it real for the person behind the machine. Going to the Thrive goal of the 6 months goal of transforming 1,800 guests, we're at 419 overall target checkout with that is 23.27%. So what I'll need next, so we have actually a steady increase of guest checkouts per week, but what we'll need more is to actually go on the next level of the Maslow pyramid, which is evaluation of the guest transformation stage. So that's what I'll be asking from the guest funnel. Looking at more details, so how did we achieve this? Looking at the survive goal, if we see at the first image, we compared last week's data compared to this week's data on the burn down chart. Actually, we're now at 98.8% of our monthly goal. So this is actually a dramatic increase with a 4,000, almost 4,000 USD revenue for this month only with less cancellation. And let's see at the next data, which is the booking pace. Comparing for the booking pace for the same period, which was, I believe, the 1st October to October 11th compared to 1st September to September 11th, there is actually an 86% increase in number of booking pages. And if you guys look at this, the right side, there's a lot of orange there, right? It means that there's actually in month a lot of in month bookings for this month, and that's why there's such a dramatic increase in the revenue itself. So, but then we look at the revenue, right, for each month going down. We see that actually the revenue for the 11th month, which is November, is actually still pretty low. So first, it is highly probable that we will achieve our revenue target this month. But we have the initial revenue for November is significantly lower than the previous month. Therefore, this actually most likely the effect of the revenge travel. Suddenly, PPKM is down, alleviated, and people are just booking for the short-term booking window. So we have to evaluate whether there is actually an opportunity for us or maybe inquiries for the check-in date for November. It is to be noted that Airbnb actually it remains as our main contributor this month at 49%. Some notable areas that contributes to our revenue are Nusa Dua property, Canggu, and Unggasan. But as we know, Nusa Dua property are our luxury villas. And to be noted that this month, from 3 of our luxury villas, which are the lots, actually only one is actually fully available, which is lot 6. Lot 5 is occupied by owner's guest, and lot 3 is occupied by the owner. So it would be very beneficial if we can actually get more villas and properties in Nusa Dua and also focusing on Canggu and Unggasan. So that's actually the revenue contribution. But what about the demand of the market? The image doesn't appear there. Interesting. Yep. Thank you very much for refreshing, Kabayu. So what does the guest want, and what have we provided for them, and what can we still do for them? If you look here, based on the inquiry for direct over area and property type, actually 30% of the inquiry since the month of October are looking for guest house in Canggu, and this, according to the revenue, we actually already fulfilled that part, most likely, and we still can optimize it. But at the right side, there's actually a huge demand for villa in Bingen, which we don't see in the top revenue contributor in the top graph. So maybe this is actually a guide for us, for the BD team or partner acquisition team or maybe for the business intelligence team to optimize these types of property in a certain location, right? So that's the idea of the market currently. But let's see at the bottom part. This is a distribution. I think, yeah, this is made by Shelin on BV roll chart. The full image can be seen at the whimsical. This is a comparison of our operations team again compared to our, let's say, optimization team, right? In the right side we have BI, and the left side we have marketing and HR. If we see this distribution, it looks like a tree, and we can see which one is more populated and which one is not populated. So since we already have this structure, there are 2 things that we can do. First, regarding there are a lot of more optimization people compared to operational people. How can the optimization members help the operational people to be more effective in their work? By identifying the correct targets, such as the one that I just demonstrated earlier, or maybe creating a more efficient workflow for them. But also from HR side in the employee funnel, we can alleviate the stress distribution of workload by fulfilling the team structure itself. So that's the 2 things that we can do in the from the employee funnel that can actually help the guest funnel, because right now, if we see the input, I actually attached the, you guys can also open Redash, which is actually a great source of data. The number of inquiries since the end of last September is actually pretty, there's a high increase, and to some extent we are quite efficient, but there's actually a plateau for that efficiency. So the employee funnel would help a lot in alleviating the stress or workload in the guest funnel as well. And if we see here, for example, in the last image that I attached, we have several full-time positions that we opened, right? And this has been available since, I believe, the beginning of last month, since we transitioned, the beginning of September, since we transitioned from the partnership funnel to the guest funnel. These are our high priority hires. And if we can produce more results in these roles, I believe that, not really I believe, but we know that there's actually will be a dramatic change in the efficiency or the conversion from the inquiry to the to bookings, or maybe from views to engagement. So that's actually the coverage that I want you guys to keep in mind for the next week. from all the three funnels, from the guest funnel, partnership, and also employee funnel, on how you guys can contribute to our long-term goal of guest checkouts. Because currently it's already going well, and with this data, I believe that we can actually achieve it right now. We just have to, now we've finished the fundamental, like getting the pace ready. So we have to go up, and with the separation of hosting and reservation team, we can start inspiring guests more through the help of also partnership and also employee funnel. So that's it from for the stats and also the market analysis that I can present to you guys as a guide for the next week. And next, I think I will pass this over to Lilis to report on some of the things that we want to uncover from the leadership level to the finance team.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, sweetie. And I think if Mr. Jing Letter would like to add like some words for this one, really welcome. For this one, I'd like to, besides of good news from VD that we actually do some good news in guest funnel. In the finance side, last week we also find out that as the headlines of the graph, Bukit Vista investment is experiencing a negative return. So from on 2021, we actually experienced 7 times negative return to our investment and twice a positive return on January and also, that's June, no, that's September. What we can see from this data, we haven't detected actually on whether we experience inefficiency in our investment or we actually successfully survive in the amount of loss. I mean, at least we are not bankrupt, like experiencing bankruptcy in this company, but we do not really know whether we do it efficiently or not. So in the meantime, what's the point that we'd like to see? We need everyone to know what's the company condition right now in terms of our investment. And we need to learn on how everyone can contribute to slowly revert the gradient of investment into a positive above the zero line. That's positive, already okay, like from August to September, let's say, but it's still below the zero line. So I think, I hope everyone can help the company to grab upcoming opportunity in the future based on your expertise to make the gradient, the positive gradient above the zero line. I think that's the news from finance team. I'd like to offer to Mr. Jing or Vidi or the moderator. With that.
Okay, I'd like to chip in and also continue after Lilith. Thank you, Lilith, for being transparent and telling about the current condition within the company. So let me put a few things out there and help everybody understand this graph. If we can maybe enlarge the graph, I'll explain a few stories that I think everyone should know. If you can see, actually, maybe the correct color for this should be actually red. So February, March, April, May have basically been lost months, right? We've been losing money every month. But the good news, if there is any good news, is that it was getting less each month up until June, right? Where we actually came up for profit. Now, we've been working against headwinds coming into the company, such as PPKM, Delta variant of coronavirus, these things. And like Lilith just said, we've been able to survive throughout the process. Now, I think it is actually part of our strategy to actually get through this. And we have actually said, all right, we're going to put in some money into the company from the good years to actually get it to survive. And so what we want to see is the trend that we saw from February to June. We want to see ourselves lifting out of a loss slope, because if we get deeper and deeper into losses, then of course this whole thing doesn't really work. It's not sustainable as a business. So the good news now is that we had a dip going from July to August. August was one of our peak loss months, which is complete opposite of normal August. But considering the conditions happening, global travel, we also understand. But because we're doing this kind of work to achieve new revenue agreements to hire people, we will experience some below for a period of time until we get out. The vision at the end of the day, and what Willis meant by invest, is that we're not looking to just simply survive at the end of this whole experience. We're hoping to dominate the markets in Bali, dominate the markets in Indonesia, and do what Bayu talked about at the very beginning, really transform the landscape of how hospitality is being done. The team here is one of the best teams I've ever seen in the country. So we are actually a really strong team, but it's our endurance, our ability to carry through this period. Now, we've been given an opportunity. Things are opening up in one of the largest markets for international travel. There's a strong tendency to travel. I won't take up any more time, but this is essentially what the financial situation looks like. Everybody needs to pull their weight in order for us as a company to come out of it and for everybody to have good careers and be able to self-actualize as well, right? So these are the facts. This is what's happening. And let me turn it back to Bella for the continuation.
Okay, so thank you, switching Cardigan to Kayoli. So right now, moving on to the chapter management. We relate to Kak Andy for CM.
Okay, thank you, Bella. So the first is first visualization data Scrum for last month performance in the CM and BD Scrum. And the second one is CM team help HR for the operational. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next from HR, Kak Andre.
Thank you, Bila, and good morning, everyone. So from HCR will be that we maintain an increase of weekly sales for 3 weeks in a row. At the video already attached the photo over there too. And Sasha is back to HCR after her paid leave, but Maudi is on leave for 1 week as well. So everyone, you may please send Sasha warmest welcome back for Sasha, yes. And Kak Tani and Om Rafi, currently you working as operational schedule as well as reservation team, and that you can also observe their schedule over there too. Air support 1 till air support 4 phones are in VD's position right now, and we will move HR Scrum to Wednesday. So that will be the update from HR.
Okay, so thank you. Next to Kara from HR.
Okay. So from HR side specifically, as mentioned by Bayu previously, this has been worked, the project about migrating all the guidelines and knowledge to Koda, thanks to Bayu, Bila, Rian, and Shelin to work together on this. And then the second part is the Trello board arrangement. So I see that HR have like previously the most difference other than the other chapters, right? So I try to make more aligned with all the chapters, so everyone is welcome to visit HR Trello board. So I think it will be easier to be read now because it's aligned with all of your Trello boards in other chapters. Plus, we define the chapter focus that we did not like previously, I guess. So this is gonna be increasing the efficiency and effectiveness in the chapter. So yeah, back to you, host.
Okay, thank you, Kara. So next, Bayu for PD.
Okay, for PD, mostly we are onboarding new interns. So we have 2 data analytics. There's Lukman and Adri, and also 1 front end. But that is Robert, and then also back end S2. So thank you for HR for giving us the full team now. We are expecting to build something more better and faster in the next following weeks, and also discovery. That's the most important thing of what we can do with technology, and also the active website pages development now. Nadia and VD is currently focusing on that, so that we can help other chapters on publishing the contents that's meaningful.
Okay, so thank you, Kak Bayu, for the update. Now marketing from Kak Gani.
Okay, thank you, Bila. For the marketing, last week I saw Victoria and Nadia conduct an experiment launching a new website page that's attractive and has a rich story inside. And then from Jesselyn, she's discovered a powerful of SEO optimization on our Instagram account that have a incredible, huge improvement inside. Okay, back to you, Bila.
Okay, thank you, Kak Gani. So last from Kalilis from BI.
Thank you very much. So from BI team, actually the announcement just now about the discovery of the investment performance, and the second one we do the single property optimization is evolved into the new property optimization, and it's started right now. Thank you very much. Back to Bila.
Okay, so that's all for the chapter achievement. Now towards the personal updates. I know this week we have a very interesting question, but since we are running out of time, I think that we can make it very brief for everyone. So now, first to Om Rafiq first.
Okay, good morning. I think this is everyone experience if going to someone house, right? So I go to with family is to Karangasam and we don't tell we're coming and what is called the tuan rumah is kidnapped and then just tell, can you buy something for them? And then with the back door, right? So that is mean the inspired delight the guest, even though they try to just buy a bottle or something, but that is really meaningful to us. Thank you. Back to Bella.
Okay, thank you, Rafi. So next, Kak Andy.
Okay, yeah, this is I think the most memorable in my hospitality for the charity event with the sharing, caring, and then be grateful, and then also, yeah, very glad to help this event. Hopefully, this can be continue next someday. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Andy. So next, Kak Asa. We still have connection issue. Okay, so I think I'm going to read it for her. So yeah, my experience just happened yesterday. The only thing I can remember so far, LOL. I visited a cafe, ordered a matcha latte, and waited. It took a longer time than expected, approximately 30 minutes, and the barista gave me a large one instead of what I ordered as an apology, as an ultimate fan of the matcha. I appreciate it a lot. So that's from Kasa. Next, from Kak Ros.
Okay, so I think the good hospitality is from Karimun Jawa Island community. Beside guiding me and my friends to explore Karimun Jawa Sea, the host where I was staying, host Diki, invited us to grill the fish, and he had just cow, and even though it's outside of the package. And this much fish was given, grilled, and we ate until we were full.
Okay, thank you, Kak Ros. So next, to Kak Indra.
Yeah, Kak, basically this is my father's story. Once on the way home after his work like that, he saw some farmer still do their work at rice field like that. So directly he bought a box of mineral water. So let's say aqua. He said to the farmers like that. I think this one of I don't know this kind of hospitality or generosity, but I feel it's irrelevant. That's all, Kabila. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next, to Moayana with this interesting picture.
Okay. I think there are many. I met a lot of friends doing hosting, but one of them is Alisa and Romance. Our first big guest actually learn Russian, and I can read Russian one day. And cooking and eating after burger, fishing at Olala guests, and make video with guests at La Joya for their wedding with ML. And I think recently I have delightful hosting Roger Danuarta. I like this actor when I was young. Watch his movie. I cannot believe I'm on chat and call with him. Thank you, host.
Okay, thank you, Moayana. So next one, Kak Nadine, because she's getting texted. I'm going to get or is she here already?
Yes, I'm here already, Bila.
Okay, please.
Okay. So yeah, the most memorable moment in hospitality, I think the one that I remember is when I did hosting in Villa Olala. That was my first time hosting in BV in Bali, and then they were asking me to help them to order the cake because one of the family member is having a birthday, and then I did, and they were very happy, and then they invited me and Rian back then to dinner together with them in the villa because one of them is a chef, and yes, and I had a very classic Italian food, was so amazing. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Kak Nadine. So next, move to Thailand. Thailand here. I think she's attending a class, so I'm going to read it for her. I don't remember any of my personal experience, but I do remember that one that Haifa, my twin sister, had. We were on a high school trip to Mount Bromo, and actually one of her friends' clothes splashed by the water, and it was not. That makes her a whole thing had to delay the journey to the top since we were busy trying to find a new clothes or a way to dry the old ones. Suddenly, a woman who happened to own a homestay there came out and invited them in. She offered her friend to iron the clothes and even give each of them several bottles of karika for free. I remember her being so happy that day. So that's from Kakaila. So next, from Kak Aulia. I think she's attending a class also. So if she's not here, I'm going to read it for her. One time when I was on a vacation, I saw Farhat Abbas in the same table where my family and I sat. It was weird to see a famous person in normal setting. Okay, so that was from Kalia. So next from Kande is Kande here. Okay, so I think I'm going to read it for him. It was when in my college I was hosting student exchange, and that time I told them that they have to bring their ID when nobody is praying because there's a policeman standing 24 hours in the road and will always check your check your. Turned out it's actually just for stereo, and some of them was like LOL. So that was from Andre. So next to Pasasha. Are you here or do you still having a connection problem? Okay, I'm going to read it for her then. That one time when my friends and I visited a small restaurant in Tokyo, the waiters were super friendly, and the funny thing is we asked them to take a photo of us, and turned out that they both also took a selfie of themselves, LOL. And when my friends accidentally stained her shirt, the waiters gave a new life hack to get rid of the stain using sparkling water, and it worked. Okay, so that was from Sasha. Next, to Kagre. She's on night shift, so I'm going to read it for her. One of the hospitable moments I experienced is when I was studying in college. I live alone and usually go to work to get food. I go there super often that the owner treated me like his own child. She even let me slide if I forgot to pay LMAO. So that's from that day. Next to Kairika.
Yep. So my memorable experience was actually meeting public figures. As we know as well, maybe when you work at hospitality, you probably have a huge change of meeting famous people. So once I helped with the photo shoot of Pevita Pierce and also Patricia Go, and we also have chat and also introduce ourselves, and yeah, that was really memorable for me. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kairika. So next one to Sharon. I'm going to read it for her. Able to make my guest happy. A very simple answer. So next one to Mr. Jim.
Okay, so Roman and Elisa were our first two guests at Bukit Vista back when we were doing long-term rentals. One night, they had a water stop, and we had to decide what to do. They called it midnight. It was I think we were in Kuta with Wayana, and we were at an event. I decided whether to pick up the phone or not. And I decided to pick it up, take the call, and basically that began my life in hospitality. I think if I didn't take the call and just pretended I didn't get that, probably would not have actually had a career in hospitality. So that was my moment.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. J. Next one to Kara.
Okay, for me, is that staying at Wayana's and Jing's house for months during my internships in Bukit Vista, Bali, and then sleeping on bunk beds, sharing the same room with Eka, nearly feel adopted. So every night talking to Eka, pillow talks every day. So thanks to Mo Jing and Eka for letting me stay at your place.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Kara. So next one, Kaishali.
Okay, so basically opportunities to help others. So like few years back, I joined a few like volunteering activities like cleaning like people's houses, have activities with them for like holiday, Chinese New Year celebrations, those kind of holidays, and then measuring horseshoe crabs for like conservation purposes. Yeah, but they are kind of sad that like opportunities in my hometown here is actually much less, or maybe I stay at home for too long. But yeah. Looking forward to have more that kind of opportunities in the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kaishali. So next one to Kavera.
Okay, so mine is during my university times in China, there is a roommate and a good friend of mine whose parents often visit our apartment like 2 to 3 times in 3 months. And whenever her parents came, they always bring a bunch of local food from Indo, like martabak and satay, and even invite us, like me and my other roommate, to go around Sucho and eat dinner together with their family. Back to you, Bella.
Thank you, Kak Farah. Next one is Rian here. Okay, no, so I'm going to read it for him. My 3 years in dormitory-based high school, all the ups and downs, friends become family, chaotic moment when Monday hits and forgot to bring the cap, but fortunately, friend got to with him, missing those days. So that's from Rhea. Next one from me. Last month, my friends and I randomly chose to take a walk around Bantul, and we got lost, and I got stuck in the mud in the middle of the rice field. And two local people helped us find our way back and helped me clean my feet and shoes from the mud. So yeah, that was my story. Next one to Aksha. I think he's attending a meeting, so I'm going to read it for him. We went for staycation in Jakarta without getting charged at all, and I don't know why. Okay, so next one to Kabayu.
Okay, so my story is basically I'm just doing adventure and it goes wrong in the middle of a mountain and and it's night. So there's a villager that's offering to help me, and not only just to help me, but also he offered food, basically offered dinner to his family and invite me to talk with them and then uh, making sure that I'm getting back on my motorbike at the time and then basically that's my memories of hospitality where it's just stranger but it's very warm and welcoming.
Okay, thank you, W. Okay, we're running out of time, so I think we can really finish here today. So thank you. So Kak Nadia, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Short story. So I was traveling solo in Sweden, and I was staying at Airbnb, and actually they offered me like classic Kotbuller or the Swedish people. It was very nice of them. So back to you, Villa.
Thank you, Kak Nadia. Next one to Patrick.
Okay, it's actually too long, so just keep it short. So me and my friends went to Perkajusa, perkemahan Kamis Jumat Sabtu when I was in high school. So we are on near village and we have to prepare our own food. So basically we cook our rice, but unfortunately we experienced several power outage. So at the end result, our rice is from mid to bottom of the rice cooker. It's pretty hard and crispy in uncomfortable way. Yet in the mid to upper rice cooker, it's like porridge. It's so soft. So when, at the evening when we want to eat those foods that we already cooked, somehow one of my friend's parents come to visit us and bring us abon ayam and rendang for us to eat, which is covered a lot the taste of our disastered, chaotic rice as well. So yeah, that's a really helpful experience, I guess. That's all for me. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kak Chris. So I think we need to ask for like 15-minute extension. Is everyone okay with that? Or maybe 10 minutes, I guess. Because there are so many stories still here, and these are a very long story. So maybe next to Kak Stefan.
Okay, thank you. So from my side, I used to go to this music festival and I went alone to see my favorite band playing. It ended at midnight and I almost ran out of battery, but I immediately got an Uber car right before my phone died. And the driver was also so kind. He let me charge my phone in his car too. I might say I will probably sleep in the street if you weren't around back then. Okay, back to you, Bel.
Okay, thank you, Kak Stefan. So next one to Kak Rizky.
Okay, thank you, Ka. So I'll keep this short. One moment that's always stuck out to me was a few years ago in high school. It's pretty common here in Qatar and the Middle East in general for people to have maids and helpers from Indonesia, right? So I vividly remember one of those maids coming to my family home asking for help because they were on the run from their master. They had been beaten, among other things, and negative things actually. And our family showed hospitality by letting them hide in our house's bathroom for a few days. All the while, we tried to book them tickets back to Indonesia, give them money, give them food, and make sure they were generally okay. And yeah, my parents further showed hospitality by giving them a job to clean our house instead in Purwokerto, and where they receive a steady income without the worry of abuse. And to this day, I think it's been the latter half of 6 years now. They still work for us, and yeah, we're happy that we can help them out. The takeaway is that it's a weird dichotomy how some people are respected because of their job positions, while other peoples are treated as subhuman, even though we're all the same. And that just made me realize hospitality is about helping people, well, more than anything else. And yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Rizky. So next one to review Audrey.
Okay, so when I was in college, I went to the beach in a small village in Madura until after sunset. But on the way to the place where I was staying at, I was lost. Eventually, some of the locals were passing by, and I was giving a ride to the place. Not only that, I chatted with them, even eat with them, and I even went to a marriage ceremony while wearing a jeans t-shirt and a jacket.
Okay, thank you so much. So next one to Kalsa.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't think I have memorable moment about hospitality, but I think I can do this one. Like I have traveled to several countries, lived in a guest house to the five-star hotel, and the strange thing that every time I return to homeland or Indonesia, my money actually increase and can make me go around the world again. Such a wonderful experience playing Monopoly games, right? That's kind of hospitality games, I think. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for this. So next one to Kak Gani.
Okay. One time I visit Aparta Beach Bungalow in Nusa Penida with my family, and I asked how much price for rent a snorkel gear. But then the owner remembered me that I have taken a photo shoot that bungalow, and then the owner charged me free. Even I hosted by him to the most beautiful coral snorkel spot. Yeah, back to you, Vila.
Okay, thank you Kak Gani. Next one to Kak Victoria.
Okay, so back then when I was in high school, I was staying at a hotel for the prom night with my friends, and turns out that many of my schoolmates are doing the same, and the hotel management team gave us a ticket to congratulate us on the graduation.
Okay, thank you. So next one to Kak Jesslyn.
Thank you, Villa. My experience was my family and I once stayed at a villa in Bukit Tinggi, and it can actually house a lot of people, and we were the only guests at that time. But they still served us the whole buffet for breakfast the next day, and I think that was really wholesome.
Okay, thank you. So next one to Kak Lilis.
So that's for New Year 2021 celebration in Tabanan, and we're very inspired by the host to help us to find the firewood so that we can live on a bonfire. Thank you.
Okay, Kak. So next one to Kak Phoebe.
Yep, I hosted friends of friends in my house, course of my university, and I usually go home and then a lot of people that I don't really know. So thank you.
Okay, thank you Kak for the story. So next one to Kak David.
Yep, swam and enjoy free coffee given from host with a view of Medan sky.
Okay, thank you Kak. So next one to Camilla. Oh yeah, she is not here, so we got the connection loss. I'm going to do it for her. I like to travel around the most memorable moment when I spend time with my friends in Villa near Riverside. I drive a canoe and get to float off for 30 minutes before everyone helps me. Imagine how if I get unsafe. Okay, so that was from Bella. Next one to Anthony. I guess he's at class, so I'm going to read for him. Went to Padang for free for OSM 2018 and stayed at five-star hotel with my friends. I also made new friends from the event, so happy. Yay! So next one to Fatia. I think she's also not be able to come today, so I'm going to read for her. So far, the most memorable moment of hospitality wasn't because it's a good experience, but the worst, I stayed somewhere I don't know on a creepy valley. We are forced to stay in a random guest room. It was rather creepy. There are bugs in the room, and the service was really bad. And there's only one receptionist, and it was very good. Okay, so that was from Fatia. So next one to Jocelyn. Oh yeah, she's not here, so I'm going to report her as well. One time in junior high, I went on an immersion program to Singapore. and stayed at the dorm. It was interesting, exciting because it was my first time living in a dorm. Super fun. Okay, so that is from Justin. So next one to Kak Julianto. He's also attending lecture, I believe. So I'm going to read it for him. I can bring the concept of hospitality to the competition that I do. Okay, so next one to Kak Maxwell. Are you here? No. Okay, so I'm going to read it for him. Stayed up all night with friends at a hotel in Jogja talking about high school memories and future career plans. So next one to Kak Karen. Here.
Yes, so mine is I got a room upgrade and free snacks because the room was leaking. That's it. Biela.
Okay, thank you, Karen. So next one to Arden.
Yes, so my family and I spent a night in Singapore for transit when we were traveling to Hong Kong. And to save costs, and because it is only one night, we only booked one hotel room, and the six of us had to sleep like sardines on one bed. Thank you. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Arden. So next one to Kak Stefan.
Okay, so for mine is actually I have a transit in Singapore and I have some time, so I travel the country. But as I take the bus, I know that I have to pay the exact bills because I don't have small changes. An auntie came and she paid it for me. You know, I tried to insist to pay her, but she rejected, and I always remember that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Stefan. So next one for this is attending class. Yes, so I'm going to read for him. Most of the time it was very memorable, but the most memorable was when I visited Japan, and the people there were so polite and generous. I remember ordering something, but it was the wrong order. They apologized very sincerely. I allowed me to pick the food and give me the one I originally ordered. So last one from Nadita is here. No, so I'm going to read it for her as well. Most of them are memorable. I've been there for free because of joining on gigs. I remember my last experience is when I joined KM MIPA in Makassar on 2019, and it was so nice to know that Choto is really that good. Good old days. So that's all for personal update. Whew, very long. I think everyone is making an insight for this new question. So next one we don't have announcement actually, so we're going to the profile recognition. So first one towards Kanadin.
Okay, thank you, Vila. So I would like to recognize Gani, Aksa, and also Nuril. Nuril is our freelance housekeeper in Jogja. So I found the onboarding process of Rumah Pajangan Jogja is proceeded very beautifully by this teamwork. Asa led the onboarding very well, keep the owner inspired, but actively invite her to our sit-off. And then we can see that the owner is already transformed a lot by CM team. And also Asa guide Nuril, the freelance housekeeper outside. Nuril with his magic hand, the villa became so clean and tidy. He managed the property wholeheartedly, just like his home. And then he took action if he sees something isn't right and not inspired for the future guests. And then Gani, with his well-known fabulous skill set in photography, he has made a beautiful listing for this property. The owner was very delighted. And yes, looking forward for more transformational onboarding process. Thank you, Kagani, Asa, and Nuril. Keep up the good teamwork. And you can see the before and after the listing. Before it was managed by the owner, and after they joined Bukit Vista. Thank you.
Thank you, Kak Nadine. So next one to Ara. Oh yeah, Kara is not here, right? Maybe I'm going to read it for her. Or Kak Shelly, maybe? No? Okay, I'm going to read it. Then it's for Kak Tendi, Kak Nadine, and Ryan. Thank you for a well-thought celebration on last Friday. I'm admiring how the thing is following the current trend. In digital marketing, there is a term for this something like ride the tide. So things selected as branding or marketing is followed by the recent issue. In this case, Squid Game it is. So yeah, thank you to Kak Tendi, Kak Nadine, and also Ryan. Next one to Kak Bayu, reading for Mr. Chu.
Okay, this is for from Jing to Tandy and Rafik for being the hero. So when the HR team needed extra hands to back them up, our cherished veteran team at BP, Tandy and Rafik stepped up. So Jing thinks that this inspired delight since we currently need a bridge to get us past the HR shortage as a guest volume increase. And thanks for stepping in and being the hero, Tandy and Rafik.
Thank you, Kak Bayu. Last one to Kak Kayla. Is she here? Okay, so I think I'm going to read it for her since she's not here. So last Tuesday, the online canvassing team decided to have a change in strategy for upcoming 2 weeks. The new strategy has fully relies on the human resources support, especially in approaching activity. I was feeling very overwhelmed since I was facing exam, but I also felt like I had a responsibility to be involved in this strategy. The feeling didn't last long, so right after the meeting, Nadine invited me and Aulia to discuss about our exam plan and set the expectation. She helped me and Aulia a lot with minimizing the workload, even step up and lead the approaching workshop herself. I'm truly grateful for her for stepping up and noticing our silent concern. So that was for Kak Nadine for being invisible. So that's all for the portfolio recognition. So back to Kak Bayu.
Okay, thank you very much, Bila, for moderating this all hands session. I'm sorry for everyone that we are over time by 15 minutes, but I hope that everyone have get an inspiration from the all hands and getting inspiration from the others actually. So have a good week ahead, everyone, and have a good day. See you around.
Thank you, Babayu. Thank you, Bella.